Well, meeting Darren Stevens was, I guess, a turning point in my life, and especially I was in one of those down periods. And in fact, Darren and his team actually convinced me and forced me, if you like, into writing a book. And when I started to write the book, I realized that I had some subconscious blockages and subliminal messages going on in my subconscious about my upbringing. And well, you know, when you're in these low positions and life's hit you a curveball, what I found is the stress point of view can actually close down certain pathways in your brain. That's what I learned, because when everything's going great, you can take on everything. You can have multiple projects, multiple businesses, and you seem to have multiple people to help you. But when things are going wrong, it seems to be shut down everywhere, especially the mind. I found you close down and then you suddenly don't have all these people to help you because, oh, this is not all working out and people are fleeing the ship. But what I found was if you link on to someone who knows how to do mind shifts and really unlock the real you, because you've just been hit the curveball, and for me it can be quite difficult because you know, I've always had this Nike attitude, just do it. But when a stream of things happened, and I'm sure a lot of people watching were affected by the global financial crisis, the GFC, at some stage and at some points it can look really, really dark. But there's a saying, it's the darkest before the dawn. I couldn't even find the tunnel, let alone the light at the end of the tunnel. And I could say as a metaphor that when I met Darren, initially it was the light. And the more I interacted with the light, the brighter it got. And even more recently, you know, Darren, you know, just the way he is, has offered help and assistance to push the thing even further. And I'm sure if you follow this, because I'm a classic example, you will rise up and stronger than before. And if you do it with the right mindset, which Darren will teach you, you're not going down again. This time you're up, you've learnt, you know the key triggers that go on in your mind, and you won't make the same mistakes. So again, you know, I'm saying it many times, but I've experienced it firsthand, and if it wasn't for Darren, I don't know where I'd be right now. So if you're thinking of doing any of those things, all I can say is do it, do it, do it. Okay, so since I wrote this book, extraordinary things have happened. Besides my mindset changing, I've literally been around the dinner table with billionaires, and during the conversation, despite in addition to them watching me and listening to me talk about the stock market, when I said, oh, and I've brought a copy of my book here, these literal billionaires, and I'm talking 1.5 billion upwards, have literally sat there going, you've actually written a book? Yes, I've written a book. No, but you wrote the book? Yes, I wrote the book. And then when I gave them the book, they're actually saying to me, would you sign it? And I've signed it, and they've been so grateful. And to me, that was a big eye-opener, because one of these guys is worth $5 billion, and he was so grateful, and he invited me to his property and everything, just because of the fact I've got a book. That's happened in Hong Kong, that's happened in Phuket, where I have a 92 private pool villa resort. It's happened in Cape Town, in one of the biggest, most expensive houses on the hill. The book is totally transformational from where you position yourself with potential clients. What advice would I give someone who's thinking of using Darren Stevens, but maybe he's a bit skeptical and a bit unsure? Well, even when I was at Darren Stevens' event where I was getting my award for the book, everybody that was in that audience, I believe, has got a book inside them and a message inside them. So no matter what you're doing and what level you're at, to me, the return on investment of working with Darren, especially if you engage the mentoring side, because there's a thing that Darren talks about, which is the game behind the game. And I tell you, there is a huge game behind the game. The rewards that you can get at whatever level you want to be are phenomenal. And that would be, even if you're a tradesperson, if you've got a book, your business will be transformed. Because although Darren does many different events, and the one I went to was how to write a bestseller, there's much more inside the package of Darren Stevens. His skill and his ability with mentoring and marketing, he understands the psychology behind the process of somebody taking action. And the evidence that I've seen is If you follow what he says, and some people, have their own views on something, but just follow what he says, you will be amazed at the results that you will get by following his advice. So whatever level you're at, I'm 100% sure that your return on investment will be better than any investment you could ever make.